Stepping in the world of Starship Troopers is a very testosterone-driven experience. It's a military experience.
We've had a lot of explosions and bullet hits.
It's a lot of rolling around in the dirt, which is glamorous.
It was a very stunt-heavy show.
Action!
These bugs will kill you. And we have to see that in everyone's face, that they're going to be killed if they don't do something about it.
It's that adrenaline rush where you're living for the moment, and it certainly helped with this on many occasions because I spent a lot of time killing bugs in this.
In the ongoing war against arachnids, the Mobile Infantry is always looking for a few good recruits. Where's your head, soldier? Defending the front lines takes mental fortitude. It takes an appetite for danger, duty, and discipline, and the will to fight for humanity no matter what the cost. Would you like to know more?
The successful Starship Trooper always says, yes, sir. They're extremely loyal, and they are ready to spill their blood or give their life at the drop of a hat to save the human race. And that is the ethos of the troopers in this world.
I think it's a good day to die, sir.
Outstanding!
Some of the stuff that they're saying is quite ludicrous. What we were looking for in the actors that played troopers was a willingness to commit to the material. We needed smart people who saw the irony in it all and who were able to just take the lines for what they were and completely say them with a straight face.
Bitter pouchy. I like my bugs fried in the morning.
It's a very thin line we're trying to walk with this movie, not trying to fall over into a kind of camp silliness, but keep it as clear as possible that these people are in some very real danger.
One of the first things I did with the actors was I told them that I had written the script, but it was now theirs. They were in charge of their characters, and they had to take responsibility for them.
Calling all recruits. This is roll call. Sound off, troopers.
Bill Brittles is a very gruff, enlisted man. Very much a trooper for the Federation.
I'm Link Mannion. She's a lieutenant, and she's really like a boy.
Lola is the movie. Did I say that? What I meant to say was, Lola is a captain.
Take us out on my mark.
General Dix Hauser is the brain of the operation. Dix Hauser is the guy who keeps everything together.
My part is Slug Skinner, one of the newbie recruits under Colonel Rico. And we're the new guys, we just shut up and listen.
Give us a hand. Pick up that arm and find out who it belongs to. Yes, sir!
I knew there would be no issue with Casper as Johnny Rico. We could make 5 of these and he'd still be Johnny Rico. He's the guy that way, and he's very serious about it.
Glad all I do is fight bugs.
My favorite characteristic of Johnny is that he never gives up, never quits.
The first day of Casper, when he showed up, and everybody's turning around and like, wait a minute, this guy doesn't look 10 years older. How's that possible? He looked exactly like in the first movie.
The man's in unbelievably good condition.
It's all muscle, 100% muscle.
He's probably in better condition than most of my stunt guys.
Casper comes from a military family. It's sort of in his blood, and he sort of can do it backwards and forwards all day. You know, if you put a camera on him, he just winds up and you can't stop it. Hello, sir.
It was quite marvelous to see Johnny Rico come back to life, and I think that definitely motivated everybody else to step up to the plate and look like a trooper.
Saddle up, troopers! Sir, yes, sir! I'm gonna kill you! You killed my mama!
Attaboy, Private. The Federation needs yes men like you. You've proven you can talk the talk.
I'm here to kill bugs, sir!
But can you walk the walk?
Once the actors arrived in Cape Town, we sent them through a little bit of a boot camp.
No!
What was important to us to make sure that, just like in Starship Troopers 1, that it looked absolutely military, that it looked believable, that those guys are soldiers.
But normal day is just making sure that the actors are walking properly, holding their weapons properly, and looking like a soldier would generally look.
It's a patriotic sort of feeling that you get when you step on a set, because you see all these uniforms and the battle gear.
The armor is put into 4 parts. It's the chest plate that comes actually over the shoulders as well to halfway down the back. Then there's the abdomen plate, and then it's got accessories, ammo pouches, and a leg knife harness with a couple of compartments in as well.
And that's it.
Go shoot the bugs, soldier.
Great.
The physical challenges with not only that, but the backpack as well, which weighs about another 20 kilos.
It's pretty sweaty. I forgot how hot this uniform is. It's like I go like this and I can feel heat coming up.
During the initial casting process, you were sort of asked what your capabilities were and if you were fit, because it's quite demanding, the sort of action scenes. The bugs are quite vicious, so you got to get in there and really kill them.
Bugs bug me. You're bugging me. Kill them all!
If you're looking for bug juice, soldier, I've got just the thing. But the only way to juice a bug is to blast it to bits, and blasting means bullets. Are you up to the task?
There's a lot of shooting, so obviously your number one is your big Marauder gun.
The only really new addition to the Troopers here is the new Marauder. This one is the best one so far, I must say.
We're using what's an R5. It's a souped-up AK-47 that a lot of military around the world uses. People don't realize the safety issues when it comes to the weapons that we use. They don't seem to see danger when there's nothing actually coming out the end of the barrel.
Archie! Get the pellet over!
It's quite amusing watching them do it for the first time because they have no idea on how to do anything. Even though you're firing blanks, when you get halfway through those rounds and your body's feeling it going off, your body takes a pounding. Huge thrill firing off a weapon like that.
Coming for this thing. Look at it. It's crazy.
Doing a war movie is a pretty physical affair for actors. Boris, for instance, was quite excellent in doing his own stunts in the brawl in the cantina. He's quite the athlete, and he was very keen on doing his own stunt and being thrown around pretty roughly in the room.
He's 6'6" or something. I don't think he sees himself as the guy who gets beat up. So that took a big leap of faith.
And of course, Mo, the stunt coordinator, was a little reluctant to throw one of your leading stars around the room, but it was amazing how he tossed himself over the table and on the floor and did it, I don't know how many times. Quite the trooper.
It's all about the element of danger. No matter how small or how big a stunt is, I mean, you can never take any of it for granted. This sequence that we're filming right now is kind of toward the end of the picture where we're having to suspend 3 of our lead actors on harnesses over the next 2 days, and it's pretty tiring work and pretty uncomfortable for them. So I'm sure you're going to have a lot of complaints and moans and groans over the next couple of days.
I have a few cuts and scrapes from what we've been doing here. But it's all, you know, wounds of war.
Captain Beck knows the score. War is no day at the beach, unless that beach resides on the shorelines of OM1, the latest planet to suffer the bug scourge. But take careful aim, troopers. These bugs are hard to see.
And I did get gooed by the ginormous bug. I had to react to nothing, which is always very interesting when you are running around and you're reacting to things that aren't there.
You have to be prepared that anything could happen on set because we're finding a lot of it as we go along. And you're working with a lot of the action and things that are not there, like the bugs. So an actor's best friend is their own imagination. If you don't have a good one, you're screwed. Especially here.
Formation!
Everything's sort of quick-paced. If you're doing an action scene, you've really got to get into it.
It was quite intense, and sometimes you do these stunts at 3 in the morning, and everybody's really tired and really worn out.
You get there in the middle of the night, and you start shooting while the moon is up and wait until the sun comes up. They were out there trudging up and down these sand dunes and working 12 hours a day.
I did a lot of running. I did a lot of falling. And I would look in the mirror and be like, why do I have so many bruises? Oh, probably because I fell 15,000 times last night, and I've had to run from a lot of claws coming up from the ground, and I'm sure they're going to be very scary when they're on camera.
No time to get cute, soldier. Arachnids are closing on a friendly base. Get to your post. Defend it at all costs. What's your 20, Colonel Rico?
We're inside Roku-san, and it's my post, and we're under attack by the bugs, and we're getting prepared for the Sky Marshal, the head of the entire Federation, to come down for a surprise inspection.
The focus of the war, the second front, is on this planet Roku-san.
Roku-san used to be a nice place. Now it's war. they blame us.
Rokusan is the dividing line between the human population and the battlefield full of bugs out there.
In the first movie, we saw that they had this elevated structure to protect themselves against the bugs, and we saw that that didn't work very well. So the new way to protect themselves against the bugs is to dig trenches and protect themselves by electric fences all around the compound. Of course, the problem is that somebody cuts the power on the fences.
Here at Rokusan today is probably my biggest challenge because there's a lot of firing and a lot of military movements involved in Rokusan.
We're the action guys, so there's a lot of sort of freneticism, and we've got the bunkers, and the bugs are attacking.
We've had quite a few different types of stunts. We've had what we call ratchet rigs. Most of them were done by hand because of our small sets and close proximity. So we had to drill holes through the set and have guys visually take cues as explosion go off, yank people off their feet and fly them through the air.
Rokusan was a complex affair. We had massive explosions at the ComCon bunker where we blew up the entire wall. One poor guy had to be inside in the middle of the explosion, and it was very hairy.
We had to use Cortex to dead core, which is a very, very highly explosive material, and we had people put quite close proximity to, so the timing on jerking the stuntman backward was really quite critical.
You see us in the trenches and you see a big explosion and people dying and somebody getting impaled with a shovel, and through the mist I come and just pull the shovel out of this guy's back, and that was my homage to Iron Ass, Michael Ironside. Asking the soldier to get up and pick up the pieces of the fallen ones.
Come on, you apes! You want to live forever?
Seeing these scenes come together is quite rewarding if you think of how limited the resources still were and how big it now looks.
There's the sort of cohesiveness of the young guys that work together as a team.
We challenge each other, and it sort of keeps us on our toes. We try to elevate the material as good as we can.
Every one of our actors from Casper on down were just real troopers. I mean, these guys were 100% devoted to their roles.
It's one for all and all for one. And you feel like, even though the stakes are high, that someone's got your back.
They are taking some knocks, there's no doubt about that, but it's the nature of the job. And they've been great, and a lot of enthusiasm from them, which has helped us a lot.
We may have suffered defeat at Rokusan, but our proud troopers will return to fight another day. As we speak, high-ranking Federation officers have convened to discuss deployment of an all-new super bug killer. Would you like to know more?
Starting to look really good here. I think we'll kick some good bug ass. I say kill them all.
Colonel Rico has the right idea. Do you?